junior next year or in 11th grade. My major is British history, my minor is molecular medicine, and I decided to do my talk on Dyscalculia and Acalculia. Really quickly, does anybody know what these two words are? Anybody? You were at the talk, shut up. Anybody? No? Okay. So, symptoms, these are two diseases. Symptoms include slowed or inability to solve arithmetic-based problems. So, most of us here probably have this. They hate math and they have trouble with it. Poor concept of time, constantly late or early. So, once again, most of us here constantly late or early, having, terrible scheduling time, and a poor number sense, which I will get into. It's whatever, it doesn't matter. Sorry. I mean, it's going to be there. So who here, from those three symptoms, thinks that they might be mathematically disabled? All right. So about like half, maybe 3/4, 1/3. I don't know, math. So we're gonna do a simple test to see if any of you are actually mathematically disabled. All you have to do, I'm gonna flash some dots on screen. This is really difficult, so I need everyone's attention. Some dots are gonna appear on screen. All you have to do is yell out how many dots there are. Okay? I mean, yell. Don't know. Okay, everyone got it? So I'll count down from 3, and then just say how many dots are on screen. Okay, ready? 4! Okay, there you go. So, from that one simple test, none of you are mathematically disabled. There goes your excuse. Sorry. Moving on. Whoops, skip the slide. Moving on. So this is your number sense. This is your just your natural ability to tell of how many there are. So I hold up my fingers, and you already know there's 3 fingers. So the more dots you have, or of whatever you're counting, the harder it becomes to differentiate. So the difference between 20 dots and 21 dots will be a lot harder to tell than 1 and 2. It also is responsible for subdividing. So you see here with the 3 dots, 6. It cuts it in half, so you can tell 3 and 3, put it together, you get 6. So what you see in the differences between dyscalculia and acalculia, someone with dyscalculia will see something like this. They'll take this test, and they'll see something like this. The dots will, one by one, slowly add up. And then they'll go, oh, that's 5. It's a slowed processing of it. Well, acalculia, you'll see something like this, which is just like, there's a blur and there's some other thing, and there's no dots. I can't know. So what causes this are usually brain abnormalities that cause reduced sensory input. So you see usually areas like with the dyslexia also ties into dyscalculia. It's kind of one and the same. You see with this test, the dyslexic participants have far less sensory input in the parietal lobe and the temporal lobe. You also see a lot of mutations on the X chromosome and almost no sensory input depending on what question is asked in the frontal lobe, which is very uncommon. You can even see with this one, the 3rd test down, that person had no sensory input whatsoever. They could not perceive math, or maths, depending on what it is. So here are the actual differences between the two. Dyscalculia is a developmental disorder like dyslexia, which means it doesn't necessarily make it so you cannot perceive math, but it slows the learning of it. So you usually are assigned a tutor to help you in school, or take a different course that's a lot slower, but you still can learn math. And you constantly see with these people that have dyscalculia or dyslexia that they will study so hard that they will usually go far beyond their peers in terms of academia, depending on what type of developmental disorder they have. It's specialized under pediatrics. It ranges from around 3 to 6 of the U.S. percent of the U.S. population. It's associated with Turner syndrome and spinal bifida, which we don't really know why. It's just a mutation on the X chromosome. Turner syndrome is when you have all the excess flappy skin on your neck. And then the spinal bifida is when you just have a clump of skin hanging off your back. It correlates with 25% of ADHD patients. So people like myself who have ADHD, we can use this excuse to say that we have a dyscalculia to get out of hard math assignments. So anyone here who's ADHD, you have that excuse. And it can be treated, like I said, through therapy and also neurostimulation, which is just sending stimulation to the brain, allowing them to, process stuff quicker. Acalculia, on the other hand, is a neurological symptom, which means it is a physical abnormality in the brain that is noticeable. So you see parts of the brain missing or malformed. And it is also not an illness or a disorder, but a symptom of disease. So early signs of dementia usually lead to acalculia. So things like Alzheimer's or strokes cause this, and the curability of it depends on the disease. As with, let's say, Alzheimer's, you're most likely not going to get cured. So for those here who hate mathematics, you've got it easy. And if you would like to donate, there are some links there for the research. Thank you very much.